Hi, I'm just gonna make sure that I can see all the comments and that we are live. Perfect, we are live. So welcome to this week's live where I'm going to continue talking about converting events and live converting events, especially live converting events, because that is what I do. So welcome to this live where I'm going to speak on the subject attract an audience, speak to an audience, convert the audience, and scale doing that. So I'm going to focus a lot about scaling our business using live converting events. So welcome, and my name is Angela, and I am from Sweden. I live in south of Italy, but I am from Sweden, and I went into the international market a little more. It's about a year ago. From Swedish, I relaunched my business on the international market, and as you can hear, my English isn't perfect, but I do scale and run my business doing live converting events. So that is how powerful it is. And I'm going to share why I so strongly believe in live converting events. But first, I want to kind of clear out what it is, because what we hear a lot, or what I can hear a lot when you speak about converting events like webinars, masterclasses, is that people have a tendency to feel like, yeah, but I don't want to join a masterclass because they always try to sell something to me, right? But they are converting events. So they are built to have a bridge from teaching to selling. So live converting events is events that runs live where you convert the audience. Okay, so that is the live converting events. We can have masterclasses, we can have webinars, it could be challenges, workshop, whatever you want to call them, boot camp, or live launches. That is also a live converting event. So what it does is that you invite an audience and you speak to an audience, you teach them something, and I'm going to go in a little bit more about that later in this video. And then you have a bridge over from teaching to selling, to invite them to join your program, buy your course, or whatever that it is that you are selling. So that is the foundation of a live converting events. And why I love to do them live is, of course, because what have happened online, especially like the last 2 years, is that it's a lot of people, right? There is a lot of people online that you are competing to, that it's hard to get visible. It feels like we drowned in all the what's going on. And it's not only that you need to compete for the space like with other people that are in your industry, you actually also compete with all that is happening in the world, but also cats, dogs, funny TikTok videos, dances, all these other things are also making you drown online. So you're not visible anymore. And the more people that come online, the easier it is for someone with just a phone to go online and claim to be an expert and sell something. That is what have happened, right? So it's almost like we feel like the market is getting more and more saturated. But what you can't take, copy, and sell is you. You can't fake this. This is totally impossible. And when I look at, let's say I should scan online and I would just pick a coach, I would pick the coach that went live, that actually showed up live, speak directly to the audience, because that builds trust. The more you show up for your audience like this, speaking to them, direct to them, the more trust and authority is going to build. And you can just look in this group. So we have a little more than 150,000 members in this group, right? How many lives do you see? How many do videos inside of this group? Almost no one. Almost no one. And yes, do you need to be a member to do that? Yeah, you need to be a paying member to be able to go live. But you have the opportunity, right? So either you can spend a lot of doing post, text and whatever, or you can show up like this. And I believe a video like this, speaking directly to your audience, can't be compared to any post that it's a text, a picture, or whatever. Because it says so much more. It says about who you are, how you communicate. You can share your beliefs, your stories, your passion. Your passion shows right through to the other side of the camera, right? Compared to like a picture or something. But when I started online, I was in wellness and health. I was a personal trainer, and I wanted to work online. I didn't know anything, so I actually did everything that you could possibly do wrong. I did, but what I did do was that I had so much tech. So I spent more money on tech when I started out than I do now. And I built a fitness app, and I built a home fitness industry, and I pivoted into business coaching. And I use less tech now. I spend less tech money on tech now than I did back then, because I thought I needed all that tech to be able to make it online. But what I really just needed was a phone and live videos. I actually didn't need all that tech that I was building. I built sales funnels that were like 15 pages long, with recorded videos, with courses, with upsells, with downsells. And I spent so much time and money on this, so much time and money. And it wasn't until I hired myself a coach that I kind of find out about webinars, how to do webinars. And I felt first that, yeah, that's not my thing. I don't want to be on video talking, right? I was a little bit of a perfectionist. I wanted everything to be perfect. But as soon as I had run the first webinar that I did, I was sold, because the connection that I got with my audience couldn't be compared to anything that I had ever done. And I did a lot of fitness videos. I did a lot of recorded videos in the gym or whatever. But I couldn't compare it to that at all. It was something completely different. Did they convert? No, not the first ones I did. It didn't convert, right? Because it takes some practice, and they need to be built in a certain way to be able to convert. And unfortunately, they have gotten some kind of bad reputation, especially the word webinars, because what happened is that a lot of people have done webinars, but they turned out to either be an hour of information that you can watch the video on YouTube instead, okay? That is one thing. Or they are completely like pitch fests. So from the beginning to the end, it's almost like pitching your offer. And that is not how a webinar should be built. Or they are actually kind of boring. That I have been to a lot of webinars that have been really, really boring, because there is no kind of energy or passion for the topic from the person that do the webinar, especially when they are recorded. So they end up kind of boring. Or they are totally unstructured. So it's a complete mess, and you don't really know what they are teaching. Or they have said that they are going to teach you X, Y, Z, and they actually just don't really teach it. So it's just like a little bit here and a little bit there. And then to be able to learn the Z, you need to buy the offer. And that is kind of what have happened, because we use webinar as, oh, it's so easy to do a webinar. I just invite people and I pitch them and I sell my offer. But that is not how we built live converting event, because live converting events is supposed to solve a problem for your dream client. It's supposed to solve a problem for your dream client. It's a way for you to show up, stand in front of your audience, speak directly to your audience, serve the audience, and show your knowledge. And you can't show your knowledge if you don't help any people. If you just like pitch them, that is not helpful. It's not helpful for anyone that you just pitch for an hour. You want to help them. So even if they leave your converting event without buying, they actually leave with a win. So you have given them something that they can take and they can implement in their business, in their life, in whatever you are teaching, to solve a problem and take them moving forward. That feeling from someone that leaves, what happened to that person? That you will always be on top of the mind of that person. So they will sign up again, or they will refer you to someone else that actually become a client. But if you use them to just pitch, or boring, or information, or they are totally unstructured, people are going to leave feeling, yeah, that wasn't worth the time. And you won't be on top of their mind. They will forget you as soon as they click leave. They have forgotten about you, right? So of course they need to be structured in a certain way. But are they powerful? Yes. Are they dead? No, absolutely not. But we need to go back to want to serve our clients and stop this kind of using them as a pitch fest, or using them to with the mindset of selling, and use them with the mindset of serving your audience. Okay. So with that said, I'm going to go through why they are so good to use when you are and want to scale your business. So first of all, I think they are fantastic when you launch your first offer or any kind of offer, because it doesn't need a lot of clarification, right? You don't need a lot of complicated tech. You don't need to do a lot of work. You can or preparation. You can just have the setup of the masterclass or webinar, and you can invite an audience and you can teach them something, solve something, and then pre-sell your offer, right? So they're kind of easy way, instead of building a whole sales funnel that you actually don't know if it's going to convert, you can just start speaking like this, because it doesn't cost you anything more than time, and you can change it a little bit along the way until you find your language with your clients or with your audience that is going to make them convert into paying clients, right? So you actually saves a lot of like time, a lot of money, and especially a lot of tech, because you can actually just use a phone. So that is when we launch offers inside my program, we use masterclasses, because we just need to craft them and we can change them along the way, find our audience, find the way we speak to them, find what works, and so on, to master the masterclass so they start converting really well. We do signature masterclasses, signature webinars, so we have the same topic over and over again to build trust. So they start converting higher and higher, right? But then when you have you have an offer that is validated, so you have clients and you want to start scaling, they are fantastic because it's easy to use them to scale, because you can invite a lot of people at the same time. So you can invite a lot of people at the same time, and you can build the like, know, and trust that they need. So you can often sell high ticket products without doing sales calls. So you start saving a lot of time. So we can scale organically in two ways. So we can scale the offer in itself that we are selling. So we sell a group offer. So that is scalable. But this is a really easy way to start scaling your business, because you can run a signature masterclass like a cycle every month, over and over and over again. You actually don't need a lot of preparation, because you have run it several times. You have all the emails. You just maybe change the headline if no one opened it, and you might change something along the way, the date, the time, whatever. But it's the same topic. So I could wake you up in sleep and you can do your masterclass. You can just stand up and do it and convert clients anywhere, anytime, right? So when you feel like, oh yeah, I really need to get more clients in this month, you can run your masterclass. But the most powerful thing is that it speaks to a lot of people at the same time. And when you have run them some over and over again, and you have everything set up, you can refocus, and you can really focus on getting qualified leads inside the masterclass. So I had a client that ran a challenge last week that was a 5-day masterclass. You can call it a challenge, right? And it was her first one, and she had only 12 signups. Out of those 12 signups, she closed first 2 clients and booked 4 calls. And normally, the normal conversion rate of a challenge is 2.5%. And she overdid that way. And that is when you stop focusing on all this complicated tech and everything over here, you can start focusing on getting qualified leads, so you do not need a huge audience to get a lot of clients out from a masterclass. And the more qualified leads you get, the more in front of a lot of people you are when you run the masterclass, right? So the hour in itself that you spend with your audience is really scalable, right? And you can do them in different kind of way. There are so many ways to do them. You can do an hour, you can do 2 hours, you can do a 2-day, you can run a 5-day, a 3-day, a live launch of 9 days. There are so many ways to do them that you can change it depending on your audience, depending on when you run them. But the most powerful is that it's so scalable, because you can invite a lot of people at the same time, right? And you just need a phone. You do not need all this complicated tech. And a lot of people think that, oh yeah, I'm going to run webinars, so I do need a webinar program and they are expensive. No, you actually do not need that. You could run them in a Facebook group with a Facebook Live. You can run them on a Zoom meeting, right? So you don't actually need all this complicated tech and have that that focus on all this technology, all this funnel, all these landing pages, all these emails, because you just craft it one time and you run it as simple as possible. And the key word here is simplicity. To scale with simplicity, right? But why are they so powerful? So what have happened is that, as I said, there's so many people, and all people want to sell high ticket, but we don't want to speak to people, so we want to sell them in DM. We want to like almost just send a DM to a stranger, asking them to buy our 5K offer, and we want them to say yes. But people online have become really, really smart. They do not do those kind of investment. They want to trust you before they give you money. They want to know that whatever solution to the problem that you have can work for them. So they want to trust you. They want to get to know you, and they want to know how are your solution different from every other solution out there. How can this work for me? The biggest question they have is, how can this work for me, right? So the like, know, and trust has become really, really important. And this is like the highway to like, know, and trust, right? But what have happened is that we actually don't want to speak to people. So we want to stand out. We want to be visible. We want to become the expert, but not too much because it's uncomfortable. We want to be all that, but not too much because it's uncomfortable to have an opinion, right? We want to follow what everybody else are doing and do exactly the same thing. So it's not so uncomfortable doing the opposite, right? So we start following, and then we say, oh, it's so hard because no one sees me, I don't stand out. Well, you can't stand out by doing the same thing as everybody else. That is totally impossible. You can almost take like 10 coaches in your industry, 10 posts like this, remove the name, and everything is the same. But what no one else have that you have that is unique is you, right? You are totally unique. The way you do things, the way you speak, your passion about things are totally unique. Your stories are unique. Your background is unique. The way you take your clients from A to B is totally unique for you. And that is something that you should use to your advantage. That is something that you should use to get clients, to attract leads, to get clients, to start scaling. You need to use you, right? The copy and paste time, it's just going to take you so far. You need to go out there. If you really want to stand behind being an entrepreneur and scale to 6 or 7 or 8 figures, whatever your goal is, you need to go out there to your audience and meet them where they are. You can't accept them to meet you where you are. You need to go out to them and meet them where they are. And the more saturated the market is going to be, the more important that is going to be to build the like, know, and trust. Before it might be way easier, but now it's not. You need to build the like, know, and trust. And that is why live converting event is so powerful. Masterclasses, challenges, whatever, if they are done in a good way, of course. Do not throw any pitch festas or any kind of those kind of things. They need to solve a problem that is in top of your dream client's mind. And when we craft masterclasses, we aim to solve a problem. So we find a problem that our dream clients have, that they say they have. This is important. It can't be any problem that you know they have that they actually don't even know exists. It needs to be something they say to you that this is a problem, this is a struggle that I have, and you need to solve it. And when they join your masterclass, your live launch, whatever you run, you need to have the mindset of serving, not selling. You are serving an audience, right? You are solving a problem. You are showing them your knowledge. You build the like, know, and trust by sharing your stories, by sharing your passion, by sharing testimonials, so they actually know that this can work for them because they can relate to it. That is when it starts to get really powerful, because it's like we need to stand out, right? And the best way to stand out is go back to basic and be you. Stop looking at what everybody else is doing, all this fancy whatever you need you. We need more of you. If I want to invest, I want to invest in a person. People buy from people. People buy with emotion. So I want to see the person. I want to hear the person speak. I want to hear her conviction, hear her stories, hear the testimonials, feel the passion, right? And I want to know that this person knows what she's talking about, right? And that is a kind of if you don't have any social proof, so let's say you don't have any clients, then live like this is a really good way to build it. Because showing up live, you obviously know what you're talking about, because not a lot of people do it. So if you can stand up here like this and you can speak to an audience in whatever area that you're speaking to, that builds that trust that you need if you don't have testimonials, right? That is why it's so really powerful to use when you're a brand new entrepreneur, because it's going to build the like, know, and trust that a lot of people get from a lot of testimonials, a lot of stories, and a lot of social proof. But in the beginning, we do not have that. We don't have any testimonials. You just have your own testimonial. You are your social proof, right? But showing up like live, helping your audience with the mindset of serving your audience, and then invite them to work with you. That is powerful. That is going to build the trust that you need. But also use it as to be able to scale, right? I'm sorry, I can't see any kind of comments at all. So if there is any question, just continue, just type in the comment section. Okay, so I will go back and answer any kind of questions. So I'm going to go in a little bit how to get on also this masterclasses to convert, because or webinars. So what I have said is that this is important, that it's solving a problem that is top of your dream client's mind. And that is not something that you know if you built everything in a vacuum. So you do not build anything out with your audience. And when you have had some clients, you have gotten to know your clients. So you know her every struggle. You know where she gets stuck, right? There is always somewhere your dream client gets stuck going from A to B, right? Or the struggles, or the problem that you're solving, or the small problems around the big problems. But when you're brand new, you often don't know that if you do not do any kind of market research. So that is the number one thing that you need to understand when you're crafting live converting events. It needs to solve problem that is in top of your dream client's mind. Because why would they sign up if it's actually not solving a problem that they care about getting solved? They don't. They don't sign up. So it needs to address a problem that is on top of your dream client's mind. Can you fix the problem totally so it disappears forever in a masterclass? No, of course not. That could be impossible, because it could be like they want to lose. The biggest struggle is that they can't stop eating, so and the result they want is losing weight. Can you fix that in an hour? No. Can you get them going? Yes. Can you give them some kind of small solution that they can take with them and implement in their daily life to get them started? Yes. But it needs to target the top of mind problems of your dream client, because they won't sign up if it doesn't, because why would they? So that is important. Otherwise, you're not going to attract the right audience, or you're going to attract no one. So that is number one, to understand what is the top problem of my dream client's mind, and what are the emotions around this problem, and how can I pick something there to build a masterclass around, to solve some kind of problem. And I could run a masterclass. Let's say I could run a masterclass that was named How to Do Masterclasses, right? Or I can run a masterclass how to get leads, how to get signups for your masterclass. Or I could run a masterclass in how to pick the perfect topic for your masterclass, right? They all solve a little problem, because a problem could be, I don't know what my topic is. And I could solve that problem for you in a masterclass. That is how you need to kind of split it down and find something. But it needs to solve a problem that is in top of mind. Okay, that is the key to get people to sign up. And of course, that is combined with knowing your dream client. Otherwise, it's going to be hard. Okay. The other thing that it needs to be simple and have a core outcome. And when I say core outcome and that it needs to be simple, is that we have a tendency to complicate things. So we built this kind of complicated topics or titles, confusing. We want to put everything in. And what happens is that the audience probably will get overwhelmed, or they feel like, this is too much. I'm not going to sign up because I don't really get what it is. So the thing number two to think about is simplicity. So when you want to use live converting events to start scaling, you need to think simplicity. What problem can I solve that is in top of mind, and how can I make that as simple as possible? And here, simple, boring is better. Simple, easy, boring is way better than complicated, hard, big stuff. Okay. And then the last thing that needs to be there is the big win, or the small win, whatever you want to call it. So people that leave a masterclass, they need to get some kind of small win, or learn something that they can take with them that is going to help them with the problem that you said that you are going to solve. Otherwise, it's going to be people signing up. They are going to go through your masterclass. They are going to learn nothing. They can't take with anything, so they learn nothing, and they will not come back, and they will forget you, and you need to start all over with the lead generation. Because a lot of people need to watch your masterclass 1, 2, 3 times before they buy. Or they need to participate in 2 launches or 2 challenges before they buy. But if they feel they got nothing, they won't come back. And that is hard to scale, that when you always need, like, let's say we run a challenge. So we want to have 300 people signing up, right? And we want to run that every month. And you need always to have 300 new people to sign up. Then all of a sudden it starts to get a lot of work if we don't run ads, okay? Or if we're going to have a low quality audience, low quality of those leads. But if we focus, instead of making sure that people that join get something, learn something, and take with them when they leave, they're going to come back. If they don't come back, if they feel, you and I was not a good fit, they're going to refer you to other people. Then it starts building itself, right? So you get people joining your masterclass without you doing any work, because the other people are doing the work for you. It's like almost like you have fans that are going to give your leads, right? Because they left feeling really good about themselves. They left with some kind of problem solved. They didn't leave feeling you pitched them. They actually left, yeah, this was really good. This was actually, I learned something. I got a problem solved. This was amazing. I'm going to push people inside here because this was really good. This wasn't the program for me, but it was really good, right? Because otherwise it's going to start be like you always need new people inside all the time, right? And then it's going to be that you need to spend a lot of time on lead generation or money on ads. And we all know when we run a lot of ads, we are going to get different kind of quality of the audience, right? So when you want to use them to scale, or you want to use them in any way to make sure that people come back and people start to refer you to other people, you want to make sure that it's not a pitch fest. It's not like information boring. It's not a complete mess. It's structured. It's like giving, I'm going to teach you X, Y, Z, and you actually teach them X, Y, Z. It's not like the ad says X, Y, Z, and when they join, you actually teach them nothing, because if they really want to learn X, Y, Z, they need to buy your program. So you go full-hearted into serving an audience. Be there to serve with that mindset. That is really important if you want to use live converting events to be able to scale, because you want people to come back. People might not trust you after an hour enough to buy, like, let's say you have a high ticket offer and they don't trust you enough, but they will come back if they leave feeling really good. They are going to come back. And I have like the same leads that I see come back, and they have been with me like for a year. They are not a good fit for my program, but I get a lot of referrals from those people, a lot of referrals. They just join and say that, yeah, but this person said that I was going here because I want to do a masterclass and I want to learn how to do it, so I'm going to join. And that is because I show up full-hearted to serving. And everyone that is in this group that has been to any of my challenges, masterclasses, workshop, whatever, you know I share a lot of value trying to help let's say it's a 5-day. I am fully in the 5-day helping, right? With everything that I possibly can to get people to move forward. It's a win-win. It's a win-win. So that is a mindset shift. Go in with the mindset, oh, I'm going to sell, and use the mindset, I am going to serve. That mindset is the winning mindset when it comes to use this to scale. And then, of course, the other big question is that how do we get people to sign up? Of course. And first of all, it needs to solve a problem that is in top of mind. But we also need to stop focusing on quantity and start focusing on quality. So when you stop this chasing numbers and aim for quality and actually aim for people that are interested in what you are doing, you do not need a large audience. So you can scale without having a huge audience. So we can start focusing on getting really high qualified leads inside the masterclass or the challenge or whatever it is that you're running, the live converting event, and they are going to convert, right? So with everything in place, no, you don't need a huge audience to be able to scale with the live converting event. That is why it's so powerful, because you can twist and you can turn a little bit depending on the audience, depending on the questions that you get. You can take the frequently asked questions and you can throw together a Q&A session or whatever, right? So if you stop the chasing all these numbers that you generate 200 leads a week to 500 leads a week or whatever with low quality, I mean, those leads means nothing if it's the wrong kind of leads. They are just numbers. So stop focusing on the quantity of all these people and instead focusing on the quality of those people. Then, no, you do not need a lot of people to start scaling. You don't need a huge audience to start scaling. Because when we hear the word scaling, we think, oh my God, now I need a huge email list. I need a huge audience. I need a huge group with 10,000 members and whatever to be able to scale. By using live converting events, no, you do not need that kind of huge audience. Look at my client, her first 5-day challenge, and she, out of 12 people, had 4 signups, right? That is a high converting number. But if we just would have aimed for numbers, we could have gotten in, let's say, 100 people inside, but she might just have converted 4 anyway. So the conversion rate would have been lower, and the other people they didn't need to be there. And that is when we focus on numbers and quantities instead of quality. So no, you do not need a huge audience to start scaling if you use live converting events. Okay. So that is my best tips why live converting events. If you haven't run them, if you haven't run any kind of masterclasses, challenges, webinars, or whatever, why I think that you really should do it, and really show yourself, show yourself, and show your knowledge and your stories. Share, serve, be there for your audience. That is going to make you stand out among a lot of people right now, because there's not so many people that do it. If they do it, it's usually sometimes not that good. And it's like, we want to do all this. We want to sell high ticket. We want to have a lot of clients. We want to work as coaches, but we don't want to speak to people. I think that makes absolutely no sense. Absolutely no sense. If you want to work as a coach and a service provider, you need to speak to people. You need to build connection with people. It's not like pitching 5K in a DM. It's not. You need to be more. 2022, it's not enough. It's not enough. People need to trust you before they buy. People buy from people, and people buy with emotion, and they back it up with logic. And showing up live, speaking directly to your audience, is the highway to like, know, and trust. It's an easy way to start scaling, because you can speak to a lot of people at the same time. Okay. So if you want to learn how to craft, if you want to put together a masterclass or a webinar, the step-by-step, this is not information. I really mean to put it together step-by-step. Pick a topic, pick a title, pick whatever you are going to teach. Learn how to craft the presentation so it's sales driven into the bridge to sell, and how to do that bridge to invite people from teaching to selling. I run the next week a 3-day workshop, and day 1 we are going to craft the title, the outline of the masterclass or the webinar, the outline that is going to make people want to sign up. The day 2 we are going to craft the presentation inside, how to have a sales driven presentation. So you want people to join live, right? You want them to stay until you do your pitch, your invitation to work with you, right? And that needs to be built in a certain way to get people to stay. And the last day, we are going to talk about that crucial bridge when you go from teaching to selling your offer, right? You do not want to lose the people here. And that is what we're going to do those 3 days. You get a workbook so you can actually fill it out and craft your masterclass. We are going to pick the date when you're going to run it. We are going to pick a time when you're going to run it. I'm going to share what time that is the best times to run it. I'm going to share what dates. And I'm going to do a bonus training how to fill it using organic leads, okay? To fill it using no ads, and you do not need a huge audience, okay? The link is above if you want to sign up to learn how to do that. And that is a step-by-step process. I will also do a bonus training how to craft a group offer, so you can go from working one-to-one to working one-to-many. So the offer in itself also becomes scalable. Not only the system, also the offer. So we can work one-to-many and we can sell one-to-many to scale our time as much as possible. Okay? So welcome to sign up. The link is above, and I'm going to go back. If there is any questions, any comments, you can just send me a DM, or you can comment below this video, and I would love to see you inside. And I will go live in this group every week. So if you click on my profile picture up in the group, you're going to find a lot of live videos. And they are all about live converting events, masterclasses, and how to stand out online in a saturated market, because that is what I work with. So I work with systems, I work with sales, and I work with marketing. So you can just click and you can watch a lot of videos with a lot of value. So you're more than welcome to join. The link is above, and I will see you next week. So bye.